What? Oh, hello. Welcome to the allotment. It's a gorgeous day today. It's warm, sunny, blue sky, and it's warm. It must be, 26? It's t-shirt weather again. Is summer never going to end? Endless summer. And, which means, autumn is being squeezed, because eventually we'll just crash into the back of winter. That's what's going to happen. Eventually there'll be no spring or autumn. It'll just be summer, winter. Oh. Yeah. Okay. All that weeding paid off. This is all nice and clear. It's all dried. I'll probably turn it a bit. I'll stick it around the turmeric. Whoa! Turmeric's looking fabulous. I think this has stopped its onward march. Bit of a tidy. And, make everything look even more tidy. Shall we do that? Shall we do that? Halloween soon, That's why we do the sweeping.
I'm Frank Desley.
And I'm Des Frankley.
And John there, making hay while the sun shines.
Oh, yes, that's the best time to make hay, while the sun shines.
Yes.
And it is shining,
It is shining, Des. Yes, lovely blue sky there, little fluffy clouds.
Was that a reference there to the orb, was it, Frank?
That's right, Des. Yes, the Orb, an English electronic music group founded in 1988 by Alex Patterson and Jimmy Corti. Known for their psychedelic sound, the Orb developed a cult following among clubbers, coming down from drug-induced highs.
Ooh, did you do that, Frank?
Of course not, Des, no, but, after coming home from the pub and maybe a kebab, I'd put a bit of Orb on.
Nice.
Yes, very nice.
Very nice, little fluffy clouds, yes. And John there, he's got a lot of that hay stuff, hasn't he?
He has, actually does. What is he going to do with it all?
I don't know. Frank, maybe take it home, give it to the hamsters.
Has he got hamsters?
No hamsters. No pets allowed in the apartment.
Well, Des, then your idea is a complete non-starter, isn't it?
Well,
then why you brought it up?
I'm just trying to be useful, Frank. Just suggesting. I'm just brainstorming here.
Brainstorming, yeah, okay, that's fine. Got any other ideas, Des?
Well, he could stuff a pillow with it, or give it to a passing horse, or make wine out of it.
Make wine out of hay while the sun shines. Okay, fantastic.
Right.
I'll make a note of those, Des, and put it straight in the bin.
Okay, that's great, Frank. Something I've been meaning to ask you, Frank.
Yes? What's that, Des?
Is this a podcast, Frank? Are we doing a podcast?
Why'd you say that, Des? Why do you think we're doing a podcast?
Couple of blokes, audio only, talking rubbish. Just crossed my mind.
Are we talking rubbish, Des?
Well, Frank, what do you think?
Well, I don't think it's rubbish, Des. I think it's quite insightful sometimes. Like, we can give commentary on what John's doing, and at the moment he's stamping up and down on twigs. There you go. There's a nice close-up of the twigs. Stamp, 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 stamp.
I like that, don't you, Frank? Stamping up and down on the dry twigs is one of the highlights of the autumn for me.
Me too, Des. I love it, Can't get enough of that. Stamping up and down on dry twigs.
It's great.
If it was an Olympic sport, I'd be in the British team.
Oof.
No doubt.
Me too. I'd be there with you, Frank, the British team in Los Angeles.
Yes.
For twig stamping.
Well, Des, let's make it happen. Let's write to the IOC and tell them we've got an idea for a new Olympic sport. I mean, it's got to be better than breaking.
breaking? What's that, Frank?
You know, Des breakdancing, spinning on your head
right.
and pretending to be a kangaroo.
Ooh, that's a bit unfair, Frank, isn't it? I mean, they didn't all pretend to be kangaroos.
No.
It was just that one woman.
You mean Rachel Gunn? Ray Gunn?
Indeed, Frank. Ray Gunn. Yes. Do you think you could do that, though?
What, pretend to be a kangaroo?
Yeah, if you like.
Yeah, pretty sure I could actually, Des. Yeah, how about you?
Oh, yes, no problem. In fact, I do it quite often.
Oh.
Watch this. Boing, boing, boing.
Blimey, that's amazing, Des. I didn't know you had a pocket there. Wait for me.
Boing, boing, boing.
I'm not sure if this is good. What am I going to do with all this? That is a lot of vegetation to have to deal with. Usually it's just like a few leaves and stalks, but this is like a whole forest of biomass. You know, you can't eat it. I want to know when I can start cutting this back, actually. Let's go see what the other neighbours are doing with their sweet potatoes. Well, here's some more sweet potatoes. Much more compact as well. But they haven't touched them yet. I bet the neighbours aren't happy about this. You know, there are rules about what you can and cannot do. And every time someone does something like this, there's a new rule. I know, because I created one of those rules about sunflowers. A real sign of autumn, the persimmons. I'm not a particularly big fan, they're a little bit bland. I did make some marmalade with a persimmon and orange, that was quite nice. But Japanese persimmons don't go soft. I know, because I waited about, I don't know, I waited about a month, 2 months for them to go soft, and they never did. And then I thought, once they go soft, then I can make them into something, but they didn't. They stayed like a kind of apple, a little bit crispy, and that's how people eat them. Here's another patch of sweet potatoes, a little bit like mine. And, yeah, a little bit more controlled. But that's all they've grown, haven't they? A bit similar to me, it's kind of been left. It is an amazingly warm day today. Unseasonable. It really shouldn't be this hot. I mean, it's almost the middle of October. 2 weeks and it will be Halloween. I mean, it should be almost wintry weather. And it did get a bit cool. It did go down to about 20 last week. And I had to put a jacket on. Turmeric is amazing. It's turned into a huge jungle. Yeah, come on, you come over here. Okay. Yeah. And the reason why the turmeric is so good is because I left it last year. So this is a second year growth. And so it isn't like planted again, it's just been left here. And so it's doubly strong. I was watching a YouTube video that said turmeric is actually not good for you at all. It doesn't do anything. It's just a kind of myth that was propagated by one person who wrote lots of papers, and those papers turned out to be untrue, and they were all retracted.
And similar things. Unfortunately, it's not true. This is a myth which goes back to Bharat Agarwal, an Indian-American biochemist who worked at the University of Texas. He published dozens of papers about the supposed benefits of curcumin. He even wrote a book about it. But following the publication of the book, some people had a close look at the papers, and they found clear evidence of repeated research misconduct.
So it doesn't really have any benefit at all. If you like the flavour, that's fine. But there's no health benefit. It isn't deoxidant. It doesn't do anything. Even if you combine it with other things, which is recommended, it has a very small effect, almost negligible. So there you go, eh? Another myth busted. Turmeric doesn't do anything. Looks beautiful though, doesn't it? Okay, that's pretty much it. That's about as much as I can do. I only have two things growing. That's the turmeric and the sweet potatoes. So I'm hoping that we have a good harvest of the sweet potatoes. We're already eating them from the supermarket and they are great. So we made a kind of tart, like a sweet potato tart, because they were quite sweet. And then also we had them like roasted and fried, and a little bit of chili sauce on those. That was great. So I'm hoping this will produce a lot. Although I planted about 8 plants all in that small area. But now I realize that as a vine, they stretch and grow out, of course, miles and miles, and then they put down other roots, and that produces other tubers. So, as I said, it's like about 25, 26, t-shirt weather. Sun is quite strong. But that's about it. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.